Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello collectors, it's Steven here, wrapping up the Metroid reviews with a review of the first 4 figures Meta Ridley, the exclusive edition. This statue is the first actual collectible of Ridley from the iconic game Metroid Prime. And hopefully on the day we get more info on MP4, we'll see. Clocking in at north of $600 for the standard version at retail, even the hardcore Metroid fans need to really think about this one. And First 4 Figures just announced their reopening orders for both the exclusive and standard edition. So let's not delay and see if Ridley's too big to add into your collection. Fans of the channel will note Ridley's too big for my display area, so we'll have to piecemeal it out. And yeah, I'm just going to call him Ridley because Ridley, that's Ridley, we know who it is. Before we really get going, let's get going on the assembly, which I do fumble about here. It's a fragile resin statue in a small review space. Rather easy to assemble here, I would say overall. Disassembly, not necessarily so much. Note the electronics connect with the support pillar and Ridley's main portion of the body, and the legs connect on the hips with magnets as a support. So that's pretty neat. So let's show off the exclusive features first. Ooh, I'm changing the order of things. You know the review will be extra. So the exclusive and standard edition come with glow-in-the-dark wings, and the exclusive has light up eyes and chest. Now, this picture here is the best representation of the wings and lights working together with the lights off. Because when I actually use my camera and I do the funky stuff with it, I can make the wings really pop. The glow of the wings is rather faint in real life, and it really isn't very strong at all. But it's rather cool to have this feature. Unfortunately, on mine, there are some small spots where it looks like the paint coating for this wasn't really applied perfectly. I would even say it's pretty thinned out in some spots. And unfortunately, I noticed after the 30-day window for customer support, so fun. For the light up function, note you do get a battery which needs to be inserted into the base, so do that before you assemble Ridley. The light up feature is neat, but they do use a micro USB cable for charging the battery. Now they do give you a cable, but it's rather short. So, so, win some, lose some, I guess. The light up feature is cool, though the eyes are significantly brighter than the chest. Of course, as well for the exclusive edition, you do get the card showing that this is exclusive edition. Yeah, okay, cool. And if you validated your order, you got another card. And I hid the serial number. You're not stealing this one. Note that this was taped to the styrofoam packaging on the inside of the box. So make sure that if you do go all out, you get the exclusive edition and it was validated, you don't miss out on these if you're buying on the secondhand market. Pretty difficult to miss if you're getting this directly from First 4 Figures. Now for how the statue looks. Ridley in general looks good. Too big and way too heavy for the usual 360 spin view, and the pose is pretty much taken right from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Essentially some minor tweaks. For the actual execution here for what we have, if this was the usual fare that I take a look at for, let's say, a $90 SH Monster Arts, a $50 SH Figuarts, maybe even a $60 Figma, it wouldn't be a concern. However, the figure came with dust in the mouth from the factory. So here's the deal. Ridley is on a stand with a Chozo Ruins themed base, and the stand also has that as well, and overall the vibe is good, and the colors, I would say, for the whole package here reflect well. I swear to old bird, I do remember Meta Ridley, though, in MP1 being mostly metallic and gray, not purple, but after double checking with game rips from the game, the model, and then going back and adjusting contrast and brightness for the cutscenes, apparently this is more accurate. Yeah, so yes, kudos, First 4 Figures. You really got it to look on model with the game. But the craftsmanship, what did I pay for? What we can call panel lines are variably thick, paint that seems to be a bit too thin or too thick in some other spots, most particularly in what I'm going to be showing you coming up here. Some of the specialized pips, like the piping on his head, seem to have a really quick spray of paint, almost like they just sprayed it and moved on to the next part without really looking to see if it was done correctly. Generally, the finer details here just, aren't great. Now, some of the paint spray on the figures to really help with the transitioning from one area to another, like the purple on the head transitioning over to the metallic silver, or on the bronze claws. That's actually pretty solid, and it does look good. I'd even argue to say, particularly on the feet, gotta love the toes, it's rather impressive. And I really do get the feeling of metal here, and I'm quite surprised that this isn't like sheet metal or die cast. The Chozo base does look good. Generally, it's going to be the same quality as Ridley, though I would have liked to have seen artifacts in the base in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they could have used translucent resin with them sticking out, or even in the base of itself, instead of just those purple orbs. This way, they really could have brought the feel, the general awesomeness of the penultimate boss fight of Metroid Prime before we're able to go in. Wait, would it be the penultimate? I don't know. Do you consider the Metroid Prime Phase 1 and 2 to be two different boss fights? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. To really drive home the fight that was Meta Ridley. Now, sizing. This is a big statue, and amiibo? Nah. This is the first Ridley collectible. Normal Meta Ridley, Metroid Prime 1, Brawl, Clone Ridley, Meta Ridley from Metroid Prime 3, even Omega Ridley, Proteus Ridley. Ridley's size is inconsistent, except big. First four figures intended this to work with their own stuff. But Metroid fans, we got our boy. He's just a little bit too big, but if you have the Figma Metroid stuff, he works just fine. I would argue, in my case, he's perfect. For sizing, there's no such thing as a perfect figure, or statue in this case. Height, 37 inches. Width, 33 inches. Depth, 22 inches. Those stats are directly from First Four Figures website. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. This guy's fucking big, and he's Ridley. That alone is enough to justify the purchase. Plus, it's Metroid Prime, one of the best games ever made. Honestly, it doesn't matter who you are. If you play video games, it's pretty hard to turn that proposition down. However, considering the price point, aside from the lighting and the glow-in-the-dark wings, I could have painted this better myself. They could have just sold me a resin kit, which I could have easily put together. They could have taken care of that part for me, something that snaps together. It could have saved me a couple $100, I think. So I'm a little iffy on this. I really can't recommend this to anyone other than the diehards. So if you're on the fence, I'm going to be inclined to say that I haven't sold you on this. Unless you're watching this and you already have Meta Ridley. Cool, good job. For me, though, it was a no-brainer. For the casual Metroid fans, really look close at my review. Hopefully this helps. But if you're a diehard, buy it. It's Ridley. He's cool. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand-selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand-selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.